It was an emotional day in Memphis, Tennessee, as the community gathered for Tyre Nichols' funeral.
The young father died in a hospital 3 days after being beaten by police officers during a traffic stop. Nichols' family was in attendance, along with Vice President Kamala Harris and several prominent civil rights activists, including Reverend Al Sharpton and attorney Ben Crump. Nichols' death has prompted renewed calls for police reform nationwide. Reverend Al Sharpton condemned the officers' actions during his arrest.
What happened to Tyre is so personal to me, is that 5 black men that wouldn't have had a job in the police department would not ever be thought of to be in an elite squad. In the city that Dr. King lost his life, not far away from that balcony, you beat a brother to death. There's nothing more insulting and offensive to those of us that fight to open doors, that you walk through those doors and act like the folks we had to fight for to get you through them doors.
CBS News correspondent Omar Villafranca is outside of the Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church in Memphis, Tennessee, where the funeral was held. Omar, welcome. We heard so many powerful remarks during today's services. What stood out to you the most?
That this was a remembrance, first of all, for Tyre Nichols and a chance to celebrate him and talk about the man he was. But it was also a call to action. Everyone who basically went up there was saying this can't happen again. Things have to be done. Everyone from Al Sharpton to the attorney Ben Crump to his parents to Vice President Harris. We're all calling for some sort of reform. People calling for the passage of the George Floyd Act. So it was, while it was a solemn moment, it was also urging people to not just let this pass, to use this moment for change.
And on that point, Tyre Nichols' parents did talk about that fight forward and their efforts to get justice. What potentially does that fight look like now?
Well, it's going to be on all levels. They've already met with local legislators, and by local I mean here in Tennessee, trying to push various acts. I mean, one thing that they're trying to push forward that lawmakers have already talked about is some sort of bill and measure that holds police accountable, that if they don't render some sort of aid to somebody who clearly needs it, which we saw in that video, several videos that were released, that they can be held liable. And that is something that is raising a few eyebrows, but the question is, will it get through the Tennessee House and to the governor's desk in Tennessee and be signed into law? We'll have to see. They're not sitting idly by. There's calls on the federal level for the George Floyd Act to be passed. But again, that requires legislative will, political will, and legislative bodies to actually do their jobs and push things through and see if they can hash any agreements out. Here on the Memphis level here, they want more accountability within the police department, and they seem sort of satisfied. The Scorpion unit, which was the officers were a member of, has been disbanded. It is gone. They are reviewing it. There are not only Shelby County DA investigations going on into what happened that day. We've heard more people being fired. There's also TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, are looking into what happened, and there's a federal investigation going on. So once all those people can basically point out what went wrong, there are plans and there is a little bit of energy here to try to change the wrongs.
Yeah, on that point about Memphis accountability, I thought it was really notable to hear Tyre Nichols' mother, in her emotional words, actually praise the chief of police for her actions in holding those officers accountable. Omar, what else have you been seeing on the ground in Memphis? And as this has been a process that we have seen unfold, how have you seen that mood change?
Well, now I think it has energized more people. They saw the video and they realized something needs to be done. And that's something that even Tyre Nichols' mother said. She wanted to thank all the activists who have been out there. And that is going to charge them up to keep going, to not let this go by the wayside as this investigation continues. But another vein that they've been pushing for is, while the officers have been fired and they have been charged, they want justice to be seen through, which means they want prosecutions for these 5 officers. And if there's any other officers or deputies or firefighter EMTs who were on the scene, they also want those people to be charged as well with various crimes to send a message.
All right. Omar Villafranca reporting from Memphis for us. Omar, thank you so much.